In a shocking turn of events, the dazzling world of international beauty pageants has been rocked by a revelation no one saw coming. Rachel Gupta, Miss Grand International 2024, the first Indian woman ever to win the prestigious title, has stepped down. And in doing so, she's exposed what she describes as a deeply toxic and exploitative system hiding behind the glimmer of tiaras and evening gowns. Her decision has ignited a global conversation, with millions asking, what really happens behind the curtains of such glamorous stages? This is not just a story about a beauty queen, it's a story about power, dignity, courage, and truth. Let's rewind to October 25th, 2024. The lights were bright, the audience cheering, and history was made as 21-year-old Rachel Gupta from Mumbai stood crowned as Miss Grand International. She looked every bit the queen, poised, confident, radiant. It was a moment of immense pride for India. After years of participation, India had finally brought home the crown. Rachel's victory wasn't just personal. It symbolized representation, empowerment, and the breaking of barriers. For young women across the world, especially in South Asia, she was the embodiment of possibility. But as we now know, beneath that iconic moment was the beginning of a personal nightmare. In June 2025, Rachel posted a video. Not a rehearsed promotional video, but a raw, heartfelt 56-minute recording where she finally told the world her truth. And what she shared was heartbreaking. According to Rachel, the crown came with chains. Just days after winning, she was reportedly pressured into signing a one-sided contract. One she wasn't allowed to review with her own legal advisor. A contract, she said, that demanded full obedience to the organization, silencing her voice and stripping her of autonomy. In her words, she felt like a product, not a person. She was moved into housing that lacked basic safety and hygiene. Her access to proper food, toiletries, and even privacy was restricted. Her passport, she claimed, was taken away, leaving her stranded without control over her own mobility. Perhaps even more disturbing were her allegations of emotional abuse. Rachel said she was consistently body-shamed and gaslighted. Officials allegedly commented on her appearance, implied she wasn't thin enough, and criticized her for things beyond her control. The title that was meant to uplift her instead became a tool to diminish her self-worth. Rachel had hoped to use her platform to advocate for causes like mental health, women's rights, and education. But she said she was instead pushed to promote products she didn't believe in, some of them low quality or unrelated to her platform. They just wanted me to smile and sell, she said, not to speak, not to lead. Despite her efforts to adjust, communicate, and request changes respectfully, Rachel claimed her concerns were ignored. And worse, when she tried to speak up, she was allegedly threatened with defamation, fines, and expulsion. Feeling cornered and emotionally exhausted, she made a decision few have dared to. She walked away. Her message to the world: I am not just a crown, I am a human being. The reaction was immediate. Social media exploded with support. Hashtags like #WeStandWithRachel began trending. Fans and feminists from around the world praised her bravery. But not everyone was on her side. Within 48 hours, the Miss Grand International organization released a formal statement, and it was scathing. They accused Rachel of being unprofessional, failing to fulfill her duties, and abandoning her responsibilities without proper communication. They claimed she had broken the terms of her agreement and even alleged that she had asked for personal favors, including cosmetic surgery for her relatives. The organization backed their claims with edited video clips and statements, aiming to undermine her credibility. They officially revoked her title and, without much ceremony, handed the crown to the first runner-up, Christine Julian Opiaza of the Philippines. Christine, to her credit, accepted the title graciously. Rachel even congratulated her publicly, but not without a stark warning: protect yourself and always read the fine print. This dramatic fallout raises a bigger question, one that goes far beyond Rachel's story. How many other women have been silenced in similar ways? How many have endured mental, physical, or emotional pressure under the guise of opportunity? The pageant industry, while still widely celebrated, has been facing increasing criticism in recent years. Former contestants from various global competitions have spoken out about unrealistic beauty standards, exploitative contracts, and pressure to perform instead of advocate. Rachel's testimony adds weight to this growing pile of evidence. What's most tragic is the betrayal of trust. For many young women, winning a title like Miss Grand International represents hope, and change. But when the system itself becomes oppressive, the crown loses its meaning. Still, what Rachel did takes immense courage. She could have stayed quiet. She could have enjoyed fame, appearances, and endorsements. But instead, she chose to protect her dignity. And in doing so, she made history again. Not for winning the title, but for walking away from it. Since her video, Rachel has received support from activists, fellow models, and even human rights organizations. She has reportedly been approached for speaking engagements, advocacy campaigns, and partnerships with groups that champion women's empowerment. She may have lost the crown, but she gained something far more powerful: her voice, her freedom, and the respect of millions. As the dust settles, this controversy leaves behind an important lesson. In any industry, whether it's entertainment, modeling, corporate, or politics, power without accountability is dangerous. Glamour must never come at the cost of human dignity. And silence, when forced, is not professionalism, it's oppression. Rachel Gupta's story may have started on a pageant stage, but its impact is echoing in boardrooms, schools, newsrooms, and homes across the globe. She reminded us that even in the most sparkling rooms, darkness can exist. And sometimes, the bravest thing you can do is walk away from a crown with your head held high. As we end this story, let's reflect, not on the glitz, but on the strength it takes to speak the truth in a world that often rewards silence. Rachel Gupta is no longer Miss Grand International, but she has, in every sense, become a grand symbol of resilience, truth, and self-worth. Sometimes, the strongest crown is the one you choose to put down.